Neutral. Hello y'all, this is Brett, Swafford Homestead. Hadn't made a video about it in a few days, so I did a little catch-up video. Kind of log this before the storm hits. Supposedly it's going to storm this afternoon. I don't trust anything the weatherman says anymore, but you got to take it with a grain of salt, you know. You got to consider it. I thought I'd look this over and show you what some of this stuff looks like, just in case we do get a storm and it washes again. There's one side. It's actually kind of quit washing and kind of formed its own shape. This side has pretty well. Still got some washes in it, but it's alright. We can fix them. It ain't bad. It's packed down, getting closer. But the main thing was I wanted to show you my swales. Go around this way. Bit rough in here. Yeah, I've got squash and zucchini planted. We've been trying to transform this into I guess we'll call it a miniature food forest. You can see my clover all in here. One of my trees I made a video about Christmas coming early. Or it's Christmas time, something like that. It's an almond tree. It's supposed to grow in our zone. I got it a partner in crime. But the clover has taken over, and you can actually see where the swales are now. I'm showing it now because they're in bloom, and I promised Miss Cindy that once they bloom and the seeds fall, that I'll mow it down. She really doesn't like this. She wished it all was flat and green and all the same color and same everything. That's not going to happen in Tennessee, but now that a lot of work and a big piece of equipment is that this is going to ever be flat. I thought, well, let's look at the swales. Now, for the most part, you can see how they run. We'll start with this, and this one kind of makes a little curve. This one got a little weak spot in the middle, but it's slowly coming on. This one has just a little bit of curve. You can't tell it, but it's got a break because the next tree down there had to have its own swale. This is kind of a multiple pitch hill, and the water runs kind of at an angle, so we're having swales and breaks in swales in order to catch water for a certain amount of time and then send water to the next one. So one swale don't catch it all, but we can divide it and share it between the trees. This is a pawpaw. When I just walked by was a peach. This is a swale that's not done. There is a pawpaw tree down in there. I pull the clover back every day or two and it grows right back over the top. But it's in there. Actually done really good. But a pawpaw the first couple of years is supposed to be in the shade, so I try to leave an opening where the sun can get in there some, but they claim they need to be shaded the first 2 or 3 years because they really do grow in more of a canopy cover. They grow under the big trees. But anyway, this swale here is going to eventually go to the elderberry, or to the most part of it. We're going to tie these together. You know, I've got some other trees to plant. Got some orange trees. That's what it was. I got 5 of them that needs to go out here. This swale I changed my mind on. You can see the fresh dirt where I started. I got to build it up again. It's washed and flattened out. But plum tree. But this was where the old swale went. I was going to have this swale. This was a peach tree. A hybrid peach tree that would not produce. It's going to be sawed down. There's a boysenberry, I think, down in this clover somewhere. The clover really took off since the hot weather. But I moved this swale from, this is a peach tree. over to my new peach tree that I'm replacing this junky thing I got from Gurney's years ago. I moved the swale down to here, plant a new tree so I can saw this one out. Well, I didn't include. There is also comfrey, there's false indigo. I forgot there's 2 or 3 things growing in here already. Of course, there's wild lettuce everywhere in Tennessee, but you can see where I moved the swale. This swale was coming in straight to, this is a yellow apple tree. I can ground it back down. I'm gonna tie it into the elderberry tree, separate this, and pull this swale down to here to catch the water so this peach tree can have more water. Which the gap here should allow water to come around this tree, come through the gap and fill this one. Of course, there's water that comes from multiple directions, but I've got to catch it raining sometime and show you again. The rain's not supposed to be here after dark, so this probably won't be a video about rain. I went ahead and tied this swale to this one. It was 2 separate ones, like the islands. There's a prime example. There's you some wild lettuce. A comfrey that is trying to bloom. And a lot of weeds. There's a little bit of clover involved. This side's where the clover come in. This is another apple tree. It's a red apple tree. I believe it's a Fuji. The other one's a Golden Delicious. Man, think on this. This clover has really grown tall and it hasn't even budded yet. Comfrey got the blooms all over it. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be in block 4 comfrey. There was 10 last year. I think there's 9 that made it. One of them just never did seem like it was going to take off. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to clean up, but right now we're trying to get the nitrogen in the ground and get the nutrients in the ground because these trees are covered in fruit. Pull this down here. You can see all the little apples. We're trying to keep the nutrition up to the trees, get as much in the ground as we can, because hopefully we'll have a good harvest this year. Let's see. Crabapple tree. This is the one the dirt keeps washing off of because there's unbelievable amount of water that comes down through here. It's downhill quite a bit through here and the water will actually shoot over the top of this and keep going. You can see where it's washed. This is my little crabapple tree, and I've got the dirt where it comes in and kind of circles and there's a opening right in there. That way the water will come in and sit. Hopefully it will sink in while it's sitting in this little opening. It didn't get no comfrey, and well, you can see the clover's in the grass. It washed. There's a little clover on top. There was a service berry here, but something liked it better than I did, because it gnawed it off about 2 inches from the ground. It didn't look like rabbit marks, but it could have been a rabbit. Apple tree, pink grapes. The hot weather just about wiped my grapes out last year. It was hot and dry, and I think the drought might have got them. Very little life in my grapevines this time around. They was actually doing good. I thought we'd get some fruit this year, but not looking very good right now. Of course, this is another pink grape. This swale is more a pit than it is really a swale. I dig holes, flatten them out, and make it with a lawnmower go over it, but this is a cutaway to go into that swale where the 2 pear trees are. And it's got a pit. You can see the pit here. Grass will eventually grow in it and you won't be able to see it. Yeah, I've got to weed eat a little more. Grass is growing amazingly this time of year. I've never mowed so many times in April. I need to mow right now, and this will be the 3rd time in April. That's way too much. You can see where it cuts and goes around that. This is the craziest swale because this is the edge of the property line. I didn't figure my neighbor would care for me digging holes in her yard, so I got a crazy shape to the property. But anyway, of course, there's a blueberry in there. You can see it's got the leaves there on top and done in there. Got a little clover, but most of it washed. I'm not sure what all this other stuff is. There's several things. Most of it needs to be cut and drug out. I was trying not to cut it to see if the clover would come up first, but I'm gonna have to cut it down. Blueberry didn't make it. Something come by and whack the top out of it. All I got left is a stalk. I don't know that it will come out. I'm gonna leave it alone and see. Now this is the rounded one. It goes into a peach tree. You noticed I dug a pit around it where the water would drop off and sit in that pit and hopefully sink in a little better. Another blueberry. Clover's right up against it. There's a lot of water goes down through here, so getting stuff seeded is very hard. It washes pretty hard down through here on a big rain now. But when you're on top of the hill, that's what happens. It has to run somewhere. We're nearing the top. That's a blueberry, by the way. Got a pit dug in front. It's already growed up. You can see this is a blueberry. Got the clover around it. That's bumblebee. I dug a little flat spot in here. That's what they look like now that it's turned off warm and it's raining 3 or 4 days a week and everything's growing. It's hard to get anything done because of the rain. But my trees are being fed because I've got the clover and I've got the comfrey and everything to cut and put to them. I probably need some more nitrogen fixers and nitrogen builders, but it's a plus from what it has been. And hopefully we'll keep the trees in better shape this year. The drought last year was really hard on this place, so my wood chipper. I still ain't got everything chipped. Raspberries. A cherry. This is going to be a long process, but it's turning out really well. I didn't show the plum trees. This is probably getting back to the dirt pile. There's a plum tree in this. Of course, it's covered in clover. Banana trees. There is one over in that clover somewhere on the tree I'm picking to cut down. There's a banana tree in that mess. Coming back anyway. They always die here in the wintertime. All kinds of little plum bushes I got to cut. That's the bad thing about having a plum tree. They jump up everywhere. There are different kinds of plums. I don't remember all them. One's a beach plum, one's American plum, one's something else. I forgot what the other name. Plum trees. You get the idea. It's holding water, that's for sure. A little more tweaking and a lot more work. And I'll get it where I can mow better around it. I'm just waiting for the seed to fall. I spent too much in clover seed to mow it down and lose my seed now. Thought I'd give you a little update on how things are looking around here. Some of my fruit trees and stuff, we'll get better acquainted with the fruit trees as we start getting fruit. Thanks for watching. God bless.